So I know it's been a while since I've posted anything on here, so I figured I'd give a quick recap of how 2022 went as far as my contest season went. Long story short, I ended up doing 3 shows last year, and I basically completely failed at every single one. I ended up doing the Texas State Pro-Am Classic Physique. I don't even remember where I placed. I just remember I got like the second call out and I didn't even end up showing up to the finals. And the second show of the year was the Ben Weider Naturals Pro-Am. I ended up kind of winning the lightweight bodybuilding class. I ended up placing near the bottom at Classic. And lastly, at the end of the year, I ended up competing as a lightweight in bodybuilding at the NPC Nationals. And I believe I placed second to last at that show. So yeah, wasn't a very good year for me. I think I can honestly say last year I was at both my very best and my very worst. Physically, I think I was probably the best I ever was. And when I say I was at my worst, I mean I was at my worst mentally. I think conditioning wise, it's probably the most ripped I've ever been my entire life this year. But for some reason, I have a big problem actually showing up properly on the actual show day. And that's kind of been a problem since last year, really. I felt like I haven't really been able to nail things on show day ever since 2020 Nationals, where I think that's the last time I truly felt like I brought it and was legitimately 100% happy with how I looked on show day. Mentally speaking, I don't think I had any business actually competing in bodybuilding last year. Not to get too into it, but overall, I would say my mindset was not where it should have been. I don't think I was completely 100% focused as far as giving my all for the majority of these shows. For the Texas State Pro-Am in particular, this was the first time I ever really went into a show not thinking I was going to win. I've done 10 shows these past 5 years, and no matter what, I always went into the show thinking I had a chance to win. You know, I think as a bodybuilder, you should have that confidence in yourself that when you go into a bodybuilding show, you should have that confidence that you're going to win, because you need to emit that confidence on stage. And this time around, for some reason, I just felt very negative going in right on. Like, I just kind of knew in the back of my head that I was gonna lose, and that was kind of a disaster. And like, I did end up losing pretty bad. And when I look back going into the Ben Weider Naturals and the NPC Nationals, where I went in as a lightweight in bodybuilding, I think the big problem with those shows was actually trying to make lightweight. If you're not aware, the lightweight cutoff is 154 pounds and a quarter. And I would have to do some little manipulations as far as my diet in order to make weight on show day. And I think overall, in the end, that kind of ruined my physique a little bit. I know overall I have nothing to be ashamed of, but by my standards, how I approach bodybuilding, you know, how I've done better. I can do better. I know I should have done better. And I think overall I ended up looking pretty good, but I just didn't have that pop I had that I've had previously in the weeks leading up to the show. I don't want to sit here and complain too much about how poorly I did on these shows. I don't like to dwell on my losses because I have a lot of them. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I think going forward, learning from this, I don't think I should compete as a lightweight anymore. The best thing I can do is the same thing that I've been doing this entire time, is work on my weaknesses, do my best to get better. I do think there will be noticeable difference in how I look this time around in 2023. I do intend to compete again. I am actually dieting right now. Nothing completely set in stone, but again, kind of like last year, if I can get ready in time for the USAs, I do intend to do that, assuming I do get ready. I have roughly 14 weeks or so from the time of this filming to diet. I do intend to make more videos. I promise I'll try this time to document it a little better, go over my diet more, go over my training more, go over my infamous spreadsheet more. If you have anything in particular you guys would like to see, put them down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.